In this video, I will show you how to make your first sale on eBay. In the last year alone, I sold nearly 3,000 items and brought in over $200,000 in sales. Long story short, I started flipping shoes in college. After that, I sold my parents' vintage toy collection. And then instead of teaching using my degree, I decided to create a full-time business selling vintage toys. Now, let's talk about how to get started on eBay. The first thing we have to do is create an account on eBay. We will create a personal account, not a business account. Even though we're selling to make money, it is a personal account. And we'll fill out all the information. It will ask you your social security number. Okay, and because your social security number is tied to your eBay account, you cannot go and create another login and create another account because your account is tied to your social security number. So take good care of your eBay account, because if you mess up, they have your social security number, they will ban you from eBay. You also have to be over 18 years to sell on eBay. If you're not, you can sell with your parents under their accounts. There are some seller limitations that eBay will put on you when you are first beginning. At the beginning, there are different store options you can purchase. I would recommend not purchasing the different store options until you hit a certain threshold. It is cheaper to just sell with what eBay offers you rather than paying for a store. eBay will raise your limitations as you create a reputation on eBay. More sales, more listings, more positive feedback. As time goes on, eBay will allow you to sell more and more stuff. And all we need to get started is a phone with a camera. All you need. Some of the nicer luxuries to start selling on eBay with are a computer, a printer, shipping supplies like a tape gun with packing tape and boxes and bubble wrap. Nice luxuries. Not at all what is necessary to start. So all you need to start is a phone with a camera. Now let's pick our first item to sell on eBay. Let's make it a desirable item that is also smaller. All right, so let's pick something under 2 pounds, maybe even under a pound, and something that is brand name and that is desirable to people. How to price items on eBay is more a question of how to research items on eBay. So now we have the eBay app. All we have to do is type the item into the search bar, click search, and what we'll see is all the active listings. But we want to do is filter out, so the filter tab, the sold listings. And we'll click that sold tab. And now all the listings will turn green. The numbers will be green, and that means it is sold at that price. And so assuming we put the title in well and we have all these listings showing exactly what we have, we're gonna find the listing that most represents the quality, the condition, okay? So we'll look at all these comparisons and we'll find the comparison that best represents us and its value. And so let's say our item is worth $60, not my perceived value. I might think this item is really cool and be like, oh, it's $100. The market value is what eBay says it will sell for. Okay, so we're looking through all this sold history, all these green numbers. What is the market value? What can this item be sold for right now? Okay, we can list it above market value if we think it's like such a great item. It won't sell at above market value, especially for a new account. For people who want to start selling on eBay, I recommend selling at 15% below market value. So let's say our item, based on eBay research, is worth $60. We will sell it at $51. That's 15% off of market value. So we are under market value. People will buy this before they buy something at $60. This is good for beginner eBayers because it gets the satisfaction of a sale coming in. We have the experience of selling something, listing something, shipping it out. That's what we want. And so we want that satisfaction of making money, selling stuff, and just getting good at eBay. So I recommend the first 10 items you do, sell under market value. 15% I think is a sweet number. So we just talked about how to price an item. And so now we're on that sold listings page. We're gonna take that best listing, the one that best represents what I have in my hands. We're gonna click on that listing. We're gonna scroll down to that blue tab that says sell similar. I'm gonna click on that sell similar. And what that does for me is it opens up another page that says create listing. And so this is a new listing that it has set up for me, but it takes all the information from that previous listing and puts it into this new listing page. At the top, it has pictures, and that is the most important part of this listing because the pictures show the details that the buyer wants. All right, they want to know what they're buying. Okay, and that cover photo is the most important photo because that cover photo is what people will see when they're scrolling through the active listings. And so when they're scrolling through your listing, they want to see a good cover photo. So make sure that photo is well centered and well lit. And then the rest of those photos, after that, the 2 through 12 or however many photos that eBay allows now, shows every detail of the item. Okay? There's a description tab in this listing part, but the photos is the best description of what you are selling. And all you need to take good photos is your camera on your phone, right? I use my free phone that I got from Cricut. It is a Motorola 5G, whatever. The business uses an iPhone 8 and a Samsung Galaxy A51, which are both like $120 phones on eBay. So they're not crazy fancy cameras. They're your everyday phone, even on the cheap end of phones. And then all you need is sunlight, right? If I'm starting out on eBay, I'm going outside, laying something down in the nice looking grass and taking pictures with good sunlight. If you don't want to go outside in the grass, go by a window with good sunlight, turn the lamps on in the room and clean off the floor, right? Make sure it's a nice hardwood floor, a nice clean area of carpet. Put that item down and take pictures. Watch out for your shadows, but you don't need much to start. Really just your phone and let's say the sun. Okay, and that will get you good enough photos to create good listings. We scroll down from that and we see the title. The title is very important because that's what eBay has on the search. And so the more words you put in there, the more searches it'll come up with. Okay, so I used all 80 characters that are available to me. Okay, use vintage, antique, men's fashion, women's fashion. Use the words that they were willing to give you. The next part is the category, but that category should be preset from the previous listing, right? And that's pretty self-explanatory. You put in what makes the most sense. Next is item specifics. Again, that should be auto-filled from the previous sell similar listing, right? You can adjust it as you need, especially if it's like a shirt, right? Adjust the sizing. Go through them, especially as a beginner, make sure everything's right. For me, I assume it's right and I move on, okay? Below that is the description, okay? The description is very important because the first thing you want to do is list any flaws, minor scuffs, imperfections that this pre-owned item has. It's better to be brutally honest about the condition of your item and note any flaws than it is to try to sneak something by and hope nobody notices it. Okay? Be brutally honest. And then an amazing feature, a beautiful feature that eBay uses is AI. All right? So you click that Use AI button, it will create a description for you automatically. All right? I don't even read it. I'm just like, this is good enough because it can write a description better than I can. As a beginner, read it, make sure it says what your item is. Great. As we scroll down from that, the next tab or the next section is pricing. We already decided the price at the previous point, right? So we're going to use buy it now. We're going to put the price at $51. And as a starter, there's the best offer option. I would recommend just putting that on. People can send you messages on offers. You can choose to accept them or not, or counteroffer, okay? As a beginner eBayer, I would not start with auctions. There's a lot more variables going on in auctions. You can experiment with auctions later down the road. So let's start with buy it now at the price we have decided with best offer on. Next up is how to ship. And honestly, this might be the most daunting part about starting eBay. Okay, and we'll make it very, very simple. And the first thing we're gonna do is packing an item. All right, you need boxes, you need packing paper, you need tape. Amazon boxes, great way to start. Ask your friends, get creative. When I was in college, I would go to Walmart in the mornings when they are stocking their shelves, and I would ask the guy, hey, can I grab a box of boxes? And they have all the boxes crushed on the bottom, and I would just take a box of boxes home. Last week, my mom brought me boxes from Walmart. Cheap, or they're free. Newspapers, crumple them up. If you can't find what you need, dollar stores, Lowe's, Walmart, Home Depot, have what you need. It's just gonna cost you money. And so keep it cheap, find your free stuff. After we've packed it very nicely, we are going to measure it and weigh it. You need these dimensions. Yes, you would need to find a way to measure it, but you can just put it on the scale you have at home. And I assume the scale is sensitive up to about a pound. So if it's under a pound, it may not even shift. That's fine. Just put 13 ounces on the item or less. Okay, so you don't even need to buy a scale right now. Use what you have. Later down the line, you can buy a scale that does ounces. I assume you have a ruler at home so you can measure the dimensions. And if you don't have a ruler, measuring tape, a yardstick, the iPhone has a measuring app, and I'm sure you could find other apps that measure items for you. So now we've packed the item very nicely. We have the weight and we have the dimensions. On the eBay app, we will go to this red bar. It says sold listing. I will click on that. I will click the listing that we are shipping, click on that, and on the bottom of that page is a blue purchase label. We're gonna click that, we'll put the dimensions in, we'll put the weight in, and we will use USPS Ground Advantage. It is the cheapest option for everything under 2 pounds, all right? And we'll just keep it simple like that, all right? We're gonna use USPS Ground Advantage. There are other options, but USPS Ground Advantage is the cheapest, most coverall shipping option. I just clicked purchase the label, and when I purchase that label, it'll send me a QR code in the email I have linked to my eBay account. Take that QR code and I go to the post office. And most post offices have this now, where you can scan that QR code and it will print you the sticker that has the shipping label on it. And then you can just put it on your box and leave it at the post office. It's as simple as that. And my post office even has a little bin next to the registers where I can just toss my bag in because it has a prepaid label. I do not have to wait in line, and I do not even wait to get it scanned. Many of you might worry about the reliability of USPS. What if a package is lost, this or that, whatever happens? USPS has only lost maybe 1 or 2 packages out of the 7,500 items I have sold and shipped. So it's really, really reliable. And when things do go wrong, as long as I have shipped the item, right? And if USPS loses the item and the buyer complains, my item never showed up, eBay has a money back guarantee. And so if my account shows that I shipped the item and it's in possession of USPS, I am not at fault. eBay will cover it and I will not be responsible for it. Right? And I can also open up claims with the post office saying the tracking number never arrived, and USPS will also step in and try to make it right. Not great to be working with shipping companies, but there are ways for you to be made whole that don't put you at fault. Very reliable, very trustworthy in shipping packages. Here are 5 secret tips from my 7 years of eBay experience. Number 1, blue USPS collection bins can take anything under 10 ounces and with a thickness under ½ an inch. Okay, so if you only have 1 or 2 items that are very small, don't go all the way to the post office. Stop at the local blue collection bin. Number 2, USPS accepts scheduled pickups, and it's free, but you can only schedule 1 at a time. So if I sold something today, I can log on to USPS scheduled pickup and schedule one for tomorrow, and I can't schedule what time. They'll just come at their regular hour, and they will take the package for me. I don't even have to leave the house. Point number 3 is take very detailed pictures, because the more detailed your pictures are, the less questions you will have. If you don't take detailed pictures, eBay buyers will send you questions on the specifics of an item, like what's this? Oh, what is this? I don't see this. So take good pictures and save yourself the time of not having to answer questions. Number 4, use partial refunds. Very useful. When somebody is dissatisfied with the item they received because of some random inconvenience that you did not account for, instead of accepting a full return and them shipping the item back for you and you paying for the extra shipping cost, you can be like, I will offer you 10% money back and you keep the item. So you're no longer going through the hassle of paying extra money to get it shipped back and then having to sell it again. You keep the sale, you just give them 10% of their money back. Very good tool to know about. And the 5th secret tip I will give you is use IKEA bags. I use them every single day to take packages to the post office. I will stack 3 or 4 bags up and just carry them. When I talk about tools, I would only be able to carry like 5 packages in my hands, but IKEA bags are very collapsible, don't take up a lot of space, but carry a lot. I also use them when I go and buy stuff as well. When I go to the post office and drop off my packages, people love my IKEA bags. Oh, those bags are great. They cost like $1.50 when you go buy them as well. And so I have literally like 20 of them just floating around because they're so useful. Now I'm going to give you the best advice I would have liked to have received when I was first starting on eBay. Is sell what you have to start. and then use that money and reinvest it into buying more stuff to sell from garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, okay? Talk to your friends and family, whoever want to get rid of stuff. Give them money for their stuff and sell it, right? You never know what you'll come across. Only buy stuff that is worth selling. You know how to research items now. So research the items before you buy it. If it's not going to sell well, don't buy it. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. So only buy stuff that will sell. Keep track of your expenses, what you buy and how much you paid for it. And a simple Excel sheet is good enough for that. So keep your records of your expenses. The advice that I think is the most important is keeping positive feedback on your account. Okay, it affects how many people buy from you, it affects your rating, and also your seller limitations, how eBay sees you. Don't cancel sales, don't reject returns, don't send weird messages, right? If you're unsure how to handle a situation, research it. Google how to do this, how to handle this, right? You want to do what you can to prevent negative feedback, bad reviews, and eBay tagging your account. The hard part about receiving positive feedback is offering amazing customer service, right? Kill them with kindness is such a real thing, because so often you'll be at odds with the consumer, whoever the buyer is, you'll be against them. But you need to work with them and kill them with kindness. You always want to have 100% feedback when you're starting out, because 1 or 2 bad nicks on your account really degrades your reliability, especially starting out. Like I've been saying, positive feedback is of the utmost importance. So please like this video if you like it. I have thoroughly enjoyed my eBay journey, and if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. Please comment any questions you have, and I will happily get back to you on them. Thanks for watching.